The sensation of sliding one's fingertips over the door, creaking open to an invisible omen, a sign of impending doom without warning. Standing at the boundary between physiology and ideology, those unsettling fragments of silence. By eliminating distance, the ritual instead renders the intangible visible. I unknowingly trace the pre-designed blueprint of rejection lingering deep within the skin. Between seeing and repulsion lies the slightest tremor of a membrane. The anticipated revulsion. That is the silent malice uttered by the unconscious justice that has yet to harm anyone. Before it all began, the nerves had already selected this sensation, this reflex, this symbol of aversion. That is why, by the moment of contact, it is already too late. The sensation has already betrayed me. The fact that existence itself is noise that cannot be eradicated. Within that noise, I find my own absence. When I feel aversion towards something, I am confronted with an incomplete self, an unfinished physiology that I have already touched. Like the wings of an insect drifting in the twilight, it touches the viewer unknowingly, caressing the heart to the point of irresistibility. This sensation is not mere aversion, but a small revelation that encounters the contradictions of life woven by all things. It is like the pure madness of a forbidden treasure, where decay and rebirth oddly intertwine. Even if that single touch is as fragile and fleeting as the disgusting saliva of an insect, its afterimage is deeply etched into the depths of the soul. Before this inescapable sensation, one confronts the transparent and fragile shadow of the self, and the contradictions that overlap in layers. Therefore, this subtle sensitivity transcends mere aversion and should not be lightly touched upon. In its profound depths, one discovers the fragility of passing time and the faint beauty lurking within ugliness. And that sensation, akin to a taboo, settles like an unread emotion on the edge of slumber. It is a premonition of a nerve that is already weary of the yawn of an unseen other. It is like a minute break in the circuit of emotions, a breeding ground for contradictions that were already avoided. The someone within me reacts in advance to events that have not yet occurred, flipping the palm of my hand to determine the fork in the road of likes and dislikes. It is not a device that predicts the future, but one that performs aversion to the future in the present. Perhaps every emotion in the world has its own pre-prepared repulsion, and in the moment we judge something as touched before even touching it, we reject the existence of others not as a sensation, but as a premonition. In that tragedy, repulsion blooms first and withers away without ever being touched. I hear the afternoon light grinding the dust in half-tone intervals of golden tuning. It is an answer back from the future or from beyond oblivion. The moment to come dances through space as scales of foreboding. Nothing has happened yet. But at the back of the throat, the upper sphincter muscle of the esophagus, which serves as a border, relaxes slightly, but surely. The future rises as a sour belch, foretelling its taste at the root of the tongue. It is not a premonition. It is a reaffirmation of a taste already known, a soulful rumination called déjà vu. The moment the fingers touch the mucous membrane of time, the chronic reflux esophagitis called existence reveals its symptoms. Reason writes a simplistic diagnosis of, "It's all in your head," and common sense labels it with the trite diagnosis of fatigue. This intuition that shakes the diaphragm is a ritual that washes away the layered embellishments of reality, coated in sweet lies, with the pure water of physiological disgust. The undigested matter dwelling in the stomach writhes, bathed in the strong acid of the absurdity of existence. This fiery baptism is the most sincere physiological rebellion against the harmony of falsehood. The body's critical spirit inspects the deception of what others call happiness with this tongue, and concludes with a no. It is the unshakable first principle of ontological self-identity that clarity can never unravel. I no longer seek to escape. I discard the easy antacids meant to soothe this sensation. I quietly vomit before the cup of sweet words offered by the world. I know that this is the small but decisive price I must pay to transcend the noise of the mundane world. This discomfort, which I will continue to experience, is an indelible mark. The unseen retribution that flows beneath the surface is stirring. The circuits of fatigue seep into the folds of otherness that have been rejected in advance. A response without substance, rejecting every connection point at the subatomic level. The spasm of absence that runs ahead in the shadows of consciousness. An allegory of the object already decomposing in the innermost depths.